so I don't forget. All right. We're reading from the book Little Things Matter. If you haven't already announced yourself, please do so at this time. Make yourself and your state famous.
Jamie and Holly.
All right. OH, Jamie and Holly.
Hi-oh.
All right, brother. Good to hear your voice. We still got a couple minutes left yet. We'll be reading Don't Wish You Could Rewind the Clock. Very good chapter. Chapter 96. We're reading from the book Little Things Matter from Todd, or W. Todd Smith. Kind of melancholy about getting through this book. We're going to have to see what Cindy wants to do. I'd like to start over again, but we'll probably go to a new book, I'm sure. Anyway, we still got a couple minutes left. Got an awkward silence there. Guess I can get down and start doing some push-ups and count them out. All right, we got a little dingy. Go ahead and announce yourself and what state you're calling in from.
Hey, this is Bob from Kansas. Good morning.
Bob from Kansas. Good morning. How you doing, brother?
Doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing excellent. Got another one. Hey, go ahead and announce yourself and what state you're calling in from.
Kirby in Tennessee.
All right, Curb, good to hear your voice. We still got about another minute. Go ahead and announce yourself and what state you're calling in from.
Cindy in Nebraska.
All right, Cindy in Nebraska, good to have you on the call. And with that, we'll go ahead. Oh, man, I'm so excited. I did that on the first try. All right, with that, I'm going to, Cindy Wright started this call out years and years ago, and I remember hearing her from Kuwait. I was so excited. She really changed my life just listening to this book. So with that, I'm going to bring on Cindy Wright.
All right. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Wake Up Call. Thank you, Tracy. And I have to say, it always made my day every morning when I would hear, this is Tracy from Kuwait, and I would be like, oh, my gosh, somebody is actually dialing in from Kuwait. And at the time, we didn't even know who you were because, nobody had met you because you were in Kuwait. And so anyway, it also made my day. So, all right, we are on chapter 96, Don't Wish You Could Rewind the Clock. This is a great chapter. He said, do you find yourself saying, I wish I could do that over, or I feel about what happened. I wish I'd never said anything, or I wish I'd never made that investment, or I wish I'd never dated that person. When you make these kinds of statements, you are living with regrets that can rob you of peace and happiness. It's natural to want to turn back the clock and have the opportunity to do things differently. But I have come to the conclusion that pushing rewind to replay old events over and over again and wasting over past choices is not constructive. The fact is the past is behind us. It's over. It's history. We would be wise to follow the wisdom of Alexander Graham Bell, the ingenious inventor who had many failed experiments before becoming famous. He said, when one door closes, another opens. But we often look so long and so regretfully upon the closed door that we do not see the one which has opened for us. And then Todd says, I believe we could all live happier and more fulfilling lives if we stopped regretting the past. Instead, we should be thankful for who we are and the experiences we have had, both good and bad. It is through those experiences that we have become the person we are today. He said, I've made the decision to no longer wish I could turn back the clock and do something over. I focus on learning from each mistake I make and concentrate on making the changes I need in the future to become a better person. I draw from all my experiences to fulfill my purpose, to live a happy, healthy, and fulfilling life. This is a great chapter, and I'm just, when I think about this, I think about I'm guilty of this, okay? I'm just telling you, I'm guilty of it. Kirby and I have had so many great years in our 41 years of marriage, but we have also had some dark years. And it is so easy to go back and think, why did we do that? What if we had just done that differently, that wouldn't have happened, things like that. And he's always just been so good to tell me to stop thinking about it. He's like, what good is that going to do you, Cindy, to talk about that? What good is it going to do you to even think about that? Like, you cannot go back there. You can't think about it. It's just worthless thinking. It's time spent that you are just wasting energy on something that you can't change. And it's like you have to just learn from your mistakes and move on. And it's interesting, we were talking about something a week ago, and we both just made this decision, like, the past is the past. We are not going to talk about it. We're not going to think about it. We are only going to think about things that move us forward, that excite us, that, get us going, that, we want to wake up to. And so anyway, I think this is an awesome chapter, and I'll give it to you for your feedback, Tracy.
Hey, good stuff. I read this chapter this morning, and I really relate to it. I used to regret the past as well. And all of a sudden, it might be from you reading this chapter when I was in Kuwait, but I remember reflecting and thinking, it takes everything in life to get us where we are today. And so, growing up, if I wasn't such a turd and got into the things that I got into in Los Angeles, California, I wouldn't have joined the military, and I wouldn't have learned goal setting and teamwork and discipline. And I wouldn't have learned the wisdom. I don't have a lot of wisdom, but the little bit that I have, I wouldn't have had today if I hadn't made all the poor choices that I made back in the day. In addition to that, if my second marriage, it didn't work out so well. It was horrible. But if I didn't go through all the turmoil and the heartbreak and the nastiness of that second marriage, and I'm tearing up now, I'd have never met, the love of my life today, because I'd have never moved to where I moved, and I'd have never met Jody. If it wasn't for all of that, it just wouldn't have happened. My life wouldn't have changed. So a lot of times when we're going through that turmoil, maybe God has something for us on the other side, and if we wouldn't have went through that turmoil, we wouldn't be who we are today. And so that helps us while we're going through the turmoil. And it also helps us to not look back on the past with regret. And so with that, I'll turn it back over to you for some final words.
Okay. His challenge, he says, I challenge you to adopt my philosophy and follow my plan. The first thing, stop worrying about things you cannot change. The second, don't allow past experiences to drag you down. The next, accept yourself for who you are, blemishes and all. Learn from the past, enjoy the present, and plan for your future. Live your life with passion and purpose. And the last thing he says, if we waste our time with regrets over yesterday, we will have no time to enjoy life today or to make plans for tomorrow. And this is just one of the wisest chapters in here. There's so many of them in here, but this, I'm telling you, this book is just a book that, like, when I found this book and we started this call, I started just buying this book and giving it to every person that I thought that needed to read these 100 little things that matter. My kids were the first ones. And, Morgan was still in high school. And, I made her read it every day. I was like, you're going to read these things. You're going to learn these things because there's so much wisdom in these chapters. And this one especially, imagine if you can teach your kids, some of these life lessons early on so that they don't spend time wasting energy over something that they have absolutely no control over. So I think this is a fantastic chapter. It makes me want to just post it on Facebook, and get it out to the world that, how many times I get so tired of people just talking about their mistakes and their past, and if I'd just done that, I wouldn't be in this situation today, well, because of that, I'm broke, because of this, I'm like, and if they would just understand, you're not getting yourself anywhere by continuing to dwell on your mistakes. We have to learn from them, we have to move on, and then move forward. So anyway, I think it's a great chapter. Tracy, I'll give it to you to close out. I hope y'all have an awesome Monday.
Hey, again, I agree with those dwelling on the past. I was a heck of an athlete when I was young, and for the longest time, I kept thinking if I'd have just stayed with it, I know if I'd have worked hard, I could have been an athlete, and I could, and I really think I probably could have. But so here's the deal: maybe I could have. But maybe I'd have got into steroids, or maybe I'd have wrecked my knee, and then I'd have got into pain pills, and I'd have went down that path and been a junkie. There's no telling what could have happened to me. And so I just finally came to quit regretting the past, quit thinking what I could have been, and thank God of where I'm at, because it could have been such negative. When we romance the past on what we could have been, it's always hey, I could have been a king. Well, I could have been a bum under the street too, under the bridge. You just never know. And so with that, I just challenge everybody to go out and quit thinking what we could have been, or what could have happened, or what investment we could have had, and thank God it isn't worse than what it is. Just live from our experiences, make the future more than what it is today, and go out, make this week the best week that we possibly could. And with that, let's see if I can do this on the first time. I'm going to try to unmute everybody, so say goodbye.
Great job, guys.
Thank you.
Goodbye, everybody.
Really good. Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Cindy, Tracy, and everybody.
Thank you. Very good chapter. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a good
Bye.
Have a great day, brother. I'll talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Just a kid. Have a good day.
Yes, it's your friend.
And all friends. You have a mommy and a daddy.